how do you change careers when you're 30, 40, 50, or at any other age for that matter? This is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. I feel very passionate about taking the step and making that career change if it feels right at any stage of your life. I have seen so many people do it successfully at different ages. I have helped people do it, and I've done it myself twice. And if I could do it, you can do it too. In this video, I will share 6 tips on how to switch careers successfully. Hey, I'm Annette, and in this channel, I use my HR and recruitment experience to help individuals like you find their passion and build their dream career. But now, let's get to it. Tip number 1, get clear on your why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to change careers? What are you building towards? What future vision do you have for yourself? Getting clear on your why is important because I'm going to be honest with you. Making that career change is not always easy. It's definitely worth it, but it's not always easy. And if you know your why you are doing all of this, it gives you the necessary motivation you need to stick to your plan and put in the necessary work to make the change you want to make, because you know what you're building towards. One note though, make sure that this is something you truly want, that you are doing this because you want it for yourself, not because someone else wants you to, that it feels right. Even if it feels scary, it also feels right. And hey, let me know in the comments, what career do you want to pursue? What are you building towards? Tip number 2, do your research. When you have some clarity on what career you want to pursue, do your research. Find out as much as you can about what the day-to-day life of this career path is actually like, what it entails. And this is very important, get clear on what skills, what personality traits are needed to be successful in this career path. And if a certain education is needed, or can you do without it? How do you find this out? 1, you can always use Google. You can type in what skills are needed to be a software engineer, what education is required to be a nurse, and know that different companies may have different requirements. But also find real people who do this kind of work. Ask around, find someone who would be willing to share their experience with you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be someone you know, although that would be great. But if there is someone you admire, someone who is successful in this career line, you can try to reach out to them and see if they would be willing to share some advice. Worst case scenario, well, you never hear back from them. Best case scenario, well, you might actually get some valuable advice. And don't just talk to one person, because we all have our own subjective perception of things. So make sure you get different perspectives. And see if there are some online communities, some Facebook groups you could maybe join. Also, you want to talk not only to those who do this kind of work, but try to get an opinion of those who make the hiring decisions, like the managers, founders, HRs, recruiters. Tip number 3, make a plan. Now when you've done your research and you know what kind of skills are needed to pursue this career path, the next step is to evaluate where you are at the moment with all of this. What you do have and what you still need to work on for you to get where you want to be with this new career. What skills do you need to develop? What personality traits do you need to strengthen? And possibly even what kind of experience you need to pick up, and make a plan on how you could do that. What can you do to become stronger at those critical skills needed for this career path? Could you sign up for a class or an e-course? Could you buy a book? Could you attend a master class, or maybe find a mentor that can help you with this? What are some first steps you can take to get you closer to where you need to be? Now, before we get into tip number 4, just a quick reminder. Please hit that like button if you've been getting some value out of this video so far. And subscribe to my channel for more tips on how to build your dream career. Tip number 4, if possible, get some experience. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Well, what do you mean get some experience? How am I supposed to do that? Well, let's take a look at some of the options you can try. Sometimes the easiest way to pivot a career is within the same company, if that's at all possible, because they know you. Even if it's not the ideal scenario for you, this might be an easier way to start. And if you're on good terms with your current employer, if they value you as a team member, they might be willing to give you an opportunity to change positions and try yourself in a new career. I, for one, love giving people opportunities like this. If I see that they really want this, and if I feel like they might have what it takes personality-wise, I might very well give them an opportunity. If I'm able to do that, because that's not something that's always possible. Another thing you can do is ask for an opportunity to participate in a project that's more related to this new career path you're willing to pursue. You can even volunteer to do that in your spare time. And one more thing you can always try is sign up for an unpaid internship at a different company or a small business. You can do that in your spare time, and no one in your current job even has to know if you don't want that. Now, gaining some type of experience is not something you absolutely have to do to be able to change careers. No, you may very well be able to do without it, but it certainly helps. First of all, it gives you the opportunity to try it out and make sure that this kind of work is something you actually enjoy doing. Second, it looks good on your resume and provides you with extra confidence when you go in for the interviews. Third, it shows the employer that you are actually serious about this, that you're willing to put in the work, and that you have tested the waters and know that this is something you truly want. Because no employer wants to hear that you want to try it out and see if it's right for you or not, that you're not actually sure. It certainly doesn't help you to get the job. Tip number 5, polish up your resume. So what do I mean when I say polish up your resume? I mean align your resume with your desired position. Take a good look at all your skill set, all your experience, all your strength, all your wins, and see what might be relevant for the position you're aiming for. Make sure you include front and center everything that is beneficial for this new position, even if it's not an exact match with what they're looking for. 10 years ago, I wanted to change careers. I was a country manager of a wholesale company at the time, and I wanted to get into HR and recruitment. The problem was I had no experience in that. There were so many areas where I was lacking knowledge. I was severely lacking experience, and my only education was a business one. But I did get the job. I got the job as HR manager at one of the top companies, and I spent the next years really building up my skill set and growing into this role as fast as I could. So how did I land this huge job with almost no relevant knowledge and experience? I polished up my resume. I made sure I included front and center everything I had done as a country manager with regards to my team. Even though my greatest achievements were in completely different areas, in my resume, I made sure I focused on those times when I did recruit a team member, when I did introduce a new motivation system, when I did organize trainings for my team, even though it was a small proportion of what I was actually doing in my job. And then in the interview, I showed them how much I wanted this. I acknowledged that I was lacking experience and that I was lacking knowledge. I acknowledged how much I had to learn to be able to do this properly. But I demonstrated willingness to dedicate the next years to learning and growing and becoming excellent at this job. So I got the job and I delivered on my promise. So let me know in the comments what skills, what experience can you leverage in your resume to align it with the job you're aiming for. Tip number 6, be prepared for what's coming. Now by now you know that I'm a strong believer in making that career change if it feels right for you. No matter how old you are, no matter what experience you have. But with that said, you should be mindful of what this type of change might entail. It might be super quick and easy for you, but in most cases it will take some time. And it will take a lot of work and a lot of learning. So just be mindful of this, be prepared, line up your finances, make a decision on what you're ready to sacrifice if that will be needed. What you're ready to do, what steps are you ready to take? And what is going to be your support system throughout this change? Is it your family, friends, maybe a community you could join? Sometimes people around us are very open-minded and supportive of our willingness to make a change. And if that's your case, that's amazing. You're lucky that way. But know that if that's not the case for you, it's okay. That's normal. Change is scary. Not only for you, but for those around you, especially for those around you, because they don't have the ability to take action and to make sure that this goes as well as it can. You have that ability, but they are involved and they might be affected. So if they are not very supportive for now, give them some grace. And talk to them, share with them, share your why with them, share your research with them, share your plan with them. The more they'll see that you are prepared, that you have done your research, that you have a plan, that you have thought this through, the more able they are to come on board and start supporting you. And let's build a supportive community right here in the comments section. So go share right now, write a comment. What career are you pursuing? How far in the process are you? How is it going for you so far? What support do you need? And then go and reply to someone else's comment. Now be sure to like this video if it gave you some value and subscribe for more tips on how to build your dream career. And I will see you in one of my next videos.